I'm Kate Lee, Executive Director of Education and Workforce for the South Bend Regional Chamber, and I'm excited to welcome Allison Herzig, Director of Economic Development for the South Bend Regional Chamber, as our guest for this chat, where we're going to talk about the future jobs that are on the horizon in St. Joseph County and our region. So let's get started. Thanks for being here, Allison. She's going to lead the slides through, and we're just going to talk about what's coming up and what might be in the future for students and adults who are taking a look at this chat and thinking about preparing for what happens post high school graduation, or thinking about pivoting into possibly a new career in a different industry. So take it away, Allison.
Hello, thanks Kate for having me. Happy to be here kind of talking about, there's a lot going on in the county and in the region right now. And so just kind of putting it in perspective of, so you're in class, you're working towards graduation, you're thinking what's next. So let's kind of walk through some of the great projects that we are excited about that are in progress, and some that hopefully will be in progress shortly. So right now there's a big push within the United States and really globally for a lot of green energy. You've heard a lot about hopefully some EV, electric vehicles, that are coming to market. I think almost every week there is a new announcement of a multi-billion-dollar facility opening up, and we're excited that we are on a short list for a large facility. It is the General Motors partnership with LG Energy. It's called Ultium Cells. So that is a very big project that we are waiting for a final decision on. Just recently, there was an announcement for Mullen Automotive. They will be taking over the facility. They purchased the assets that are right next to the Hummer plant in Mishawaka. So that is also an EV automotive organization. So not 100% sure on jobs, thinking about 200 potentially with that. Lightsource BP has just announced a 1,000-acre solar field that will be going in over in the new Carlisle area. And Alcogen, also known as Unifrax, also in that new Carlisle area, is working on some cutting-edge technology that is part of the EV green energy cluster. And so really St. Joe County is kind of moving towards this future industry, and we're excited that so many organizations have recognized that we are a wonderful place to have the workforce availability, and we're ready to get to work and make all of these different green energy jobs happen. So again, just kind of walking through the Ultium overview. You may not have heard about it yet, but it's kind of been in the news intermittently for the last few months. Ultium, again, is a General Motors facility, partner with LG. So you might have a TV or washer and dryer or refrigerator or some technology in your house. So those two companies came together and created this new company called Ultium. They are going to invest, hopefully, $2.4 billion in St. Joe County to build a 2 million square foot facility. And just kind of, it's hard to understand what 2 million square feet is. So think about, Friday night football, 46 of those fields under a roof. So rather large.
You get a lot of steps in working there.
You do. And with those, there's going to be about 1,700 full-time jobs once it is established. That will be one of the larger employers in our area, the largest manufacturer in our area. Notre Dame employs about 6,000, Beacon about 3,000. So it will be one of the top employers in the area. And just kind of, as we're working through manufacturing day, and what do those jobs look like? What do these jobs of the future look like? What is Ultium looking for their employees? What types of positions could you expect? Well, 80% of that 2 million square feet will be a clean room, which means very nice environment to work in, all temperature controlled, exactly as it sounds, very clean. They don't, there can be no contaminants on the batteries. And so you're working in an environment that is unlike a lot of different environments that you may think of when you think of a manufacturing facility. I've listed a few of the jobs that they'll be hiring for. You can see there's a wide range. So entry level, post-secondary certifications potentially for some of these, such as maintenance, and then all the way up through engineers are going to be very much in demand. As we think about jobs, though, one of our always first questions we always got in manufacturing day, and really what everyone thinks of is how much am I going to make? So the average wage, about 1940, works out to a little bit over $40,000. Some of the really neat things about this organization and these jobs is healthcare first day. To put that in perspective, about in the county, 30% of hourly jobs have healthcare the first day. And so this is going to give you day one, you walk on and you have medical coverage. There's going to be, based on your skills and how well your work ethic and your performance, and be pay raises every 6 months until 7 years, where they will max out for that level job. Average wage for our engineers and other salaries is going to start around at 70,000. Engineers are going to make slightly more. It's much more detailed, higher education requirements on that. And then on top of all of this, there are performance. So if General Motors hits all of their targets, then the employee can expect to receive quarterly benefit incentives, and what we've been told could be anywhere $1,000 to $2,000 a year, so that on top of that hourly wage. So really a good job, especially not having to have a high skill level, coming right out of high school. There's a lot of opportunity there for kids.
So for context, Allison, what are average wages in the county for like a starting hourly average wage?
Sure. So the average production wage is about the same. It's $19.40. But as let me just move forward to this next one. If you look at the material handler and the production associate, now these are some of the jobs for Ultium that hopefully, if they decide to come here, you'll see these being listed as jobs for hire. The production associate starting is $16.50 and about that range. So in perspective, the production associate range for other jobs in the county is about $1 less. So these are higher paying wages than you would expect if you started at other organizations. Now, COVID has created a scenario where there has been an increase in need for employees, and so some of those wages will flex. Very market driven. So if there's you'll see even around that you might see higher wages being listed for some organizations trying to fill those positions, but we anticipate that these positions will be at or above, is what we've been told, the average position wage in the county area.
And I think too, on the previous slide, I saw there's tuition reimbursement. So that means there's opportunities if you do come into the business, to working for Ultium or other companies. There are oftentimes opportunities to build yourself up and pivot into different areas, get your degree and do what you have to do to get a higher wage job and just grow your career. Do you see that happening?
Yeah, and they've been very clear about and conversations that their goal is for an individual to come in and to move and grow throughout the organization. And so part of that is, of course, that tuition reimbursement, training, in comparison, hourly positions within the county who also provide this tuition reimbursement, 65%. So you're again going to be in that upper echelon of an employer who, and I think everyone just, understands General Motors. They understand what type of organization that is. They've been around since 1908. They have facilities in Fort Wayne and Bedford and throughout the state. There's 200 dealerships, and so well-established, employ over 6,000 people in the state. So we're really excited and hopeful that they will be making a decision in the next few weeks for St. Joe County.
Awesome.
So I'll just move back over to those jobs, so a little bit more intake on those. And they all build on each other. So material handler, we want to demonstrate some basic math and reading comprehension. And then as you move through the positions, you'll see that there's a bit of a upward slope of the requirements all the way to the maintenance tech, understanding that production and processing equipment that builds on that basic math and reading comprehension.
Yeah. Great. All kinds of opportunities for growth.
Definitely a great employer, and we're excited and hopeful they'll make that decision. So all these facilities, this facility needs to be built. And so I would definitely want to draw attention to the construction projects going on in the county. So right now, if the Ultium facility comes to fruition, we also have the Beacon Tower is being built. That's $250 million, 2-year build, 600 jobs. That solar farm that I had spoke about, that's 164. So in altogether for the next 2 to 3 years, there's a projected $2.8 billion in construction that will be going on in St. Joseph County, unlike anything we have ever seen before. And this is on top of the Notre Dame construction that continuously happens, partners expanding and building out. So a very strong need for the construction positions as well, along with the manufacturing opportunities.
And we talk a lot about how you can actually pivot your career. So you could be working on construction. You can even be a helper for a construction firm or out there doing your part to build these, and potentially take your skills inside the building when it's done and be a manufacturing employee. You see opportunities for that? Yeah.
Yep. And especially in some of these really skilled trades. So maintenance tech, again, one of the requirements is to have electrical understanding and background. So, you're working on, say, building the building as an electrical apprentice and moving in, then, you may go on to then work in the building as maintenance tech and being able to work for General Motors or Beacon, very high tech industry. The solar field is a very large number of electricians will be on site for building that.
Lots of exciting opportunities.
So much excitement.
Ready to go be an electrical apprentice. I don't think anybody wants that for me. Math was not my thing. I was a journalism major.
Something for everybody.
Exactly.
So people kind of think like, so why now? So, these projects some of them are, based on just different things and needing, such as the Beacon Tower. We just need more healthcare. Our population is growing older. But also, so on the manufacturing, why are manufacturers, everyone's now hearing about this word recession, but why are we also hearing about billions of dollars of investment? And part of that is there's a lot of government legislation that has just been pushed through, providing billions of dollars of incentives for organizations to start reshoring their manufacturing, meaning they had it overseas, maybe in Asia, due to the pandemic, kind of realized maybe having my manufacturing facility in another country is not the best idea. So bringing those back to be built in the United States, which is really creating a boom in the construction industry, creating a boom in the technology and manufacturing facility. And when people are coming to St. Joe, and we just had a call this morning about one that they specifically identified our county and our site as something they wanted to look at, because they know centrally located, you can hit 75% of the US in one day. We have the shovel-ready sites. Most importantly, we have that workforce availability. We talk about our pipeline, what schools are teaching, how many students are enrolled in each of these jobs or in each of these programs, and just different opportunities for students to become engaged, the work-based learning options. And then we really have a good, strong infrastructure for utilities, a large amount of power focused in one area, and these higher tech manufacturing facilities really require a robust amount of electric. So kind of all of those come together, which is why St. Joe County is really becoming kind of, on the forefront for the state and the region and the Midwest as an option to come to build facilities here.
And for some context on the workforce, I think it's important for anybody who's listening in on this conversation to know that it's not just high school students graduating into these jobs, but there are also adults who are looking for new careers. There are good opportunities for training, and we are lucky to live in an area with a lot of post-secondary options, from Ivy Tech to IUSB to Notre Dame to St. Mary's. We have something for everyone if you're looking for training, in addition to all of our union apprenticeship programs. So there are great opportunities to move into a new career. We've talked to people who are in manufacturing now who worked in food services for 10 to 15 years before they even moved into manufacturing. So there's there's a way to take a specific class, get your foot in the door, and just keep growing within the manufacturing industry. And these are just new opportunities right here.
Yep. And more we hear, the requirements is, for example, Ultium, they're willing to train. So as long as you show that you have some of these basic requirements, a strong work ethic, show up every day, want to improve, want to work hard, these are the requirements really to become successfully and gainfully employed in these organizations. And so we're recognized as having that type of individual in our county, and that's why it's really driving a lot of this interest.
Good stuff.
So I'll just end on some exciting photos of some of these electric vehicles that we hope to be supporting here in our community. You'll see a bunch of the GM recent announcements. I think we all hopefully remember, I don't know, maybe I'm dating myself, the Hummer was built over in Mishawaka, is now also being built for more on the defense side. But, they're just continuously announcing new EVs. They have a goal for 1 million EVs to be manufactured by 2025. So that's a very large ramp up from where we're at right now. And then again, our Mullen Automotive just this week has released the information on their Mullen 5. That is a vehicle that has something crazy like 200 miles per hour, just in case, you wanted to drive really fast somewhere that you're not allowed to. And
be careful with that. We're not recommending it.
Not recommending it, but and so that is one of their main vehicles. They're also going to be doing a lot of commercial vehicles. I believe the Mishawaka facility will be more of a commercial truck facility.
Those are some slick looking
Thank
vehicles.
you for letting me come here and talk about all of these jobs. Happy to answer anyone's questions, or if you have any specific questions that you'd like, you can just send me an email. I left my information there for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Allison, for taking the time to share these exciting things on the horizon. We have so many great manufacturing jobs already in existence in our county and our region, but these are just even more options to move people into manufacturing careers, and know that there are other places where you can land and pivot as things go forward. So students, be sure to check out all the Manufacturing Days career chats. We'll be adding to the landing page to learn from other employers, educators, and community partners who are providing career pathway support and opportunities to our region, and share what you find interesting with the adults in your life. Thank you very much, and everybody have a great day.